Welcome everybody to the 23rd episode of Bioshock Infinite! Woo! Oh, there we go. It's like waiting. What's she gonna say?
Bring us the girl and wipe away the dead. But in the end, he is the one who'll have to pay down all of our accounts, won't he?
She is just sounding like a broken record with that wiping away debt stuff.
And mine end.
Oh wait, she is a broken record. Ah, that's kind of funny. I didn't mean to do that.
A man once promised me
Records.
that he would free me of my chains. But in the end, he abandoned me to serve his own needs. But in some ways, I thank him. He showed me exactly how much faith our species deserves.
Oh, she's gonna burn you right now. No, she is. That says simplicity, humility, and servility, I believe. Yes, that's what it says.
It seems that we have something in common. Disappointment.
Wah wah. Yep, she just called you out, Booker.
I did not always love
You
the
should feel
prophet.
bad about that.
In truth, I ran from his embrace. I even denied that I was his. I followed a man who seemed to be everything my father was not. That man was
I like how, like,
shepherd.
this place has stock footage.
And when the wolves came
Like, the game Bioshock Infinite itself has, like, a looping reel of stock footage that it's, like, kind of pulls stuff from. Because why not? Hey, one more of these kinetoscopes, rotoscope things. Battleship Falls. Oh, it's another silent one. That's okay. It's one of those art pieces where they just kind of look over an area. Oh, or they fell. Okay, that's actually kind of weird thinking about that. Did they, like, throw the camera, or I guess they wouldn't really have a camera in 1912, or something fell in. How did they get the footage back after that? Or what is it? Maybe this is, like, supposed to be a future time, and so... Well, this looks pretty future-timey. You can't have an anachronism if you're in the multiverse. That's just the rules.
cannot
Deal
be
with it.
undone. I cannot stop what I have put in motion.
Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop the beat.
But perhaps I can keep it from ever starting.
There you go, Elizabeth. That's the spirit.
He
Now you're getting it.
was my first hope.
Just go back in time to before you killed Hitler and tell yourself to not kill Hitler and it'll all work out again. That's how Time Universe works. I once watched a cartoon in the 90s. I know how it goes.
Head downstairs and get to Elizabeth now.
Excuse me. Sorry. I'm supposed to try to get around. Oh, guess they're gone. Excuse me. I gotta... Just coming through. Just need to get around down to the downstairs again. Just open the door. I don't know. Maybe you guys followed me up or something. Kind of creepy-like. Sorry, I have to put all this lead into your bodies very violently. I'm just gonna head on down to the elevator if you don't mind.
I am here to finish my father's work.
Anyway, so with
Ties me with water.
with the last episode, we kind of killed a whole bunch of these like child dead presidents thingy. You had, you know, Benny from the block, Ben Franklin, Benny B. What is it, Thomas Jefferson, Jazzy J. Jefferson, Notorious B.I.G. George Washington. All those kids, they were just running around. But now they're like the normal dudes that we've always been fighting, so I'm not sure what time period we're supposed to be in. Because we're all using the same weapons that we were using, and maybe we're in the same time period.
The rebirth of the spirit.
I don't know how any of this is supposed to work anymore.
Mind
Maybe we went through like 3 different time periods. It's just all been in like the elevator.
yield.
Maybe the elevator's a time period. What?
Tomorrow the leash comes off, because all of this has to end. But even if I destroy the siphon, will I be strong enough to see all the doors and open whichever I choose?
How did it take you this long to figure out the whole siphon thing, Elizabeth? You just gotta break the
He
siphons.
would be any match for the monsters I have created.
You sound really old, like 40 years plus or something crazy.
Elizabeth, hold tight!
Oh.
It's a tear.
Here we go. Please help explain everything.
Why do you ask what?
When the delicious question is when.
Lives, lived, will live.
Dies, died, will die.
So we're in every time. I was almost right with all my questions.
As you can see, Booker, the lunatics are running the asylum. They don't even listen to me anymore. All I can do is watch as what I set into motion slides into its terminal stage. It took all I had left in me just to bring you here.
Didn't we already know that you were like, you had all these dampening power things going on? I don't know, I'm just, you know,
I heard
whatever.
you screaming. I was coming to get you. Are we...
Here. Take my hand.
Well, do it, Booker. Take Elizabeth's hand. Alright, let's get some closure. Let's clean this up. Oops.
The seed of the prophet shall sit the throne and drown in flame the mountains of man. Say what you will about Comstock. He was a hell of a fortune teller. Wasn't the torture that broke me. Wasn't the indoctrination. It was time. Time rots everything, Booker. Even hope.
I was coming.
Songbird. He always stops you.
Yes, but I would find a way.
No. It's too late for me. I brought you here for your sake. Yours and hers. Here.
What is this?
It's for her. She'll know how to read it.
What does it say?
It's advice.
Advice on what?
How not to become me.
Well, that actually didn't answer anything. Very conveniently. That answered negative anything. It actually created more questions. Question: how does 1920s Sky Village fight 1984 New York and win? Because it didn't look like they were using any kind of tech that wasn't just blimps and fire. Now, quite a lot of fire, be granted, but if you're a nation floating in the sky and you're declaring war on a city, probably not best to just attack New York, like attack Manhattan, and just with some, like, blimps. I feel like that wouldn't work very well. But who might call them out? The main point is that the fire raining down on New York that, for some reason, Booker cares a hell of a lot about, despite it not really having much to do with him at all, and kind of bringing in America in a whole new weird way, is actually some kind of future war thing that we're supposed to care about. And in just the same amount of time that it took to figure that out, we are now in a completely different scene altogether. We are now fighting Comstock directly and trying to free Elizabeth, who is now in a space or time or space-time that we can associate ourselves with in the present. So it's a step forward, I think. Basically, we are now in a position to once again save Elizabeth from her captors. Still not sure when. He said, I'm back in 1912, but Booker's not the most reliable when it comes to time or space. Speaking of whom, we have Booker DeWitt, who is the reformed Pinkerton agent, like I have brought up before. and he's supposed to be like this kind of born-again character. We enter the city being absolved of all of our sins through the waters of baptism, although I'm not sure how much we've really earned it, being not a problem goes on that Booker solves without shooting it in the face, which was the whole reason that we had all these problems to begin with. But now that he has justified it to himself that these people are worth dying, it makes it like this weird kind of moral conundrum. Not sure how it's necessarily supposed to work. What's up, Doctor? Oh, forgot that no matter where I go, I'm always be intimidating everyone. It's probably the eyes. Give them all crazy eyes.
One of the generators. If we don't sedate her, he shuts down the other one. We're not sedating her.
Idea! I'm gonna go shut down the other generator. Because they told me to. Nothing else, really. Oh! Oh! I could go through these guys. What a waste. I don't really have the ammo to do it. Looks like it'll just be shotguns forever. If I can get like a chain electric reaction going, should be a pretty nice, easy way to get everything done. Yeah, but Booker is supposed to be like this old school. This is prototype FBI kind of stuff where they're hunting for people within the United States who are considered to be I don't know. We call them terrorists now. They called them communists in the 70s, but threats to threats to the United States, and so usually it's labor unions and people who are mucking up whatever political power needs to stay in power. So we use the FBI now and to maintain that the way of being is always the way. In this case, capitalism or things like that. So that kind of stuff still actually happens today. Riots are constantly quelled by police and FBI. Whether or not they are violent is the kind of tough thing. We have many non-violent protests that are aggressed in a way by local FBI and police agents all the time. Because it's not really a thing about free speech as much as it's a thing about dominant speech.
Elizabeth, I'll be right there!
And whoever has the power gets the say. So that is where Booker DeWitt stood in late 1800s, early 1900s, and because of that had to go through and do all these horrific crimes against Native Americans and apparently against the Chinese. Not really sure how that all fits into it, but somehow he got over there. Oh no, that was Comstock who was a part of that. Sorry, I'm getting that confused. He was just Wounded Knee. But now he's like fighting for his sins to be cleansed in a way, not necessarily in a spiritual way, but oh. Anyone who has ever had needles in their spine, like me. Yeah. Yeah, that's also definitely not what it would look like. But I get what they're going for with it, and I'm not gonna, yeah, be a silly thing to pick on. More importantly than us tying up her kink corset, she has a really nice, what is that, a choker on, with the infinity symbols going around. It's very classy.
You're going to find Comstock.
Very postmodern.
Saw what he turns me into. I will not allow that.
And so what, you're going to
Oh,
kill
she's
him?
getting sassy for someone who just got a spinal tap pulled out of her back.
Moralizing, Booker. You forget. I know you.
Oh, burn! She's got your number.
Booker.
You a serial killer.
What are
Booker
you
DeWitt.
going to do to stop me?
Not a damn thing.
Yeah, how are you gonna stop the lady who can just cyclone summon and turn your house upside down, Dorothy. Get on with it. Anyway, Booker DeWitt steps in and is like, I'm a man, I must kill him because he is a man and I am a manly man. You can't do anything about it, you don't get a say in it.
And now to find the prophet.
Which is okay.
Comstock's Zeppelin is outside. The hand of the prophet, he calls it.
When did you learn that?
I've been here for a while.
How long?
Too long.
Enough.
Can you get this open?
So, we knew that we'd reunite with Elizabeth and everything would be okay. We've reunited with Elizabeth and everything's okay. We knew that because there was a hairpin lock right there. Clever, clever placement. It was not really a question of how would we get her back, just when.
Everything here is a cipher.
Apparently in this level, a half
except
hour.
for this symbol. It's a cage. Did she say anything about this?
I don't know, something about a tag team match and Sunday. It was kind of very, very big. Anyway, finished the level. We're gonna see you next time for what is about to be the end of Bioshock Infinite.